out of desperation selling drugs. He brought some cough syrup for me. He knew that I had money and he knew that I had family.
إذا كنت بالله مستعصما فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. From 2014 to 2015, I spent 1 year in a United States federal prison at the top of a mountain in Pennsylvania on the east coast of the United States. On my unit was a young man, young African American Muslim brother by the name of Qasim. He was in his mid-20s and he was at the start of a 15-year sentence for selling drugs. Qasim had a disabled mother and a disabled brother, and he used to take care of both of them. These were the circumstances that he found himself out of desperation selling drugs and how he ended up in prison. I liked Qasim straight away. He just had this air about him. He was humble. He was different to the other prisoners. He wouldn't brag. He wouldn't boast. And we became friends very quickly. Qasim was a bodybuilder. He had a very fit body and he knew about training. So me and him, we used to train together. And every day we would spend an hour, sometimes 2, sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 4 o'clock in the afternoon, in rain, in shine, in snow. We used to train even when it was minus 20 degrees Celsius, and the bars of the weightlifting equipment, the steel iron bars, were so cold that your hands would stick. They would stick. If you hold it for too long, then your hands will stick to the frozen iron on those bars because the training area was outside. Now, as time came for me to leave and to go home, I had accumulated maybe $500 or $600 worth of things: clothes, toiletries, hygiene items, sunglasses, gym gloves, sports shoes, food. I'd accumulated a lot of things, and I thought that instead of me distributing a little bit to a lot of the Muslim brothers that were there, let me give it all to one person who is the most in need. I remember in January 2015, I became sick, and I was sick for about 2 weeks. I had a very high fever, and I was unable to leave my cell. My Mexican cellmate, he used to go and bring me water and bring me food, and I was so sick that I just stayed in my cell for 2 weeks. So once Qasim, who was on the same unit as me, he came and he brought some cough syrup for me. Now Qasim used to work in the prison canteen for 30 hours a month, and in return he would just get $7. The prison would pay him $7 a month. That's all. His family didn't have money. He would not get money from outside, and he would earn $7 a month. But Qasim never asked me for anything. He never asked me for a tea bag. He never asked me for a packet of noodles. He never asked me for anything. And he knew that I had money, and he knew that I had family that send me money. So he had bought this cough syrup for $5.69, which is almost a month's salary for him. And he came and he gave that to me. He said, "Take it." He said, "Take it, Babar." He said that I don't need it. I'm okay. I was sick last week. I'm okay now, and you can take it and you can use it. So even though I had money, I was unable to buy it because you order it and then you have to wait a week or so before the cough syrup it comes. So not only did he not ask me for anything, but he was generous and he was giving me things. And I also saw him sharing and giving things out to those whom he thought were, who had less things than him. So as the time came for me to go home, and there were a few days left, and I sat him down and I told him that, inshallah, I said, I need to tell you something. I'm going home in a few days' time, and I've accumulated $500 or $600 worth of things, and I thought that I'm going to give it to one brother, and you are that brother. I'm going to give it to you. And he said, oh, thank you, brother. He said, thank you, Barbara. Jazakallah. I really appreciate it. And then I asked him, I said, do you know why I'm going to give it to you and not anyone else? There's 300 Muslim brothers here in this prison. Why am I giving it to you? He said, I don't know. And I told him, I said, because Allah told me about you in the Quran. He said, what? He said, Allah told me. I said, Allah told me about you in the Quran. In Surah Baqarah, Surah 2, verse 273, Allah describes those who are really in need. تَعْرِفُهُمْ بِسِيمَاهُمْ لَا يَسْأَلُونَ النَّاسَ إِلْحَافًا. That you recognize them by their signs. They don't go around begging people. They don't go around asking people. So even though these people are in need, they have dignity, and they never go around asking people for, they don't go around begging, they don't go around asking. And I said to him, I said, we've been friends for 1 year, and you knew that I had money and my family sent me money, but you did not even ask me for a tea bag. So today, I'm going to give you, as after I leave, such and such brother, he's going to get, there's about 4 or 5 bags, big bags of things. He's going to get them to you, and just remember that. So whenever I read that verse in the Quran, and I think about the needy people, I think of that story, I think of Qasim, that the real needy ones, they don't tell you that they're needy. You somehow just have to figure it out, and you have to see and you have to investigate, and you'll find out that they are so in need, yet they are also dignified people. So this was just another story that I wanted to share today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أخي أنت حر وراء السدود أخي أنت حر بتلك القيود إذا كنت بالله مستعصما فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد فماذا يضيرك كيد العبيد أخي أنت حر